Good times, everybody. Welcome back to CSR and some Z2R Upstarts tournament. It's game 1 of 5, Angel FM versus Sigil. I got Elendar and Sonny here to do the talking. I'm going to go push buttons because that's what I'm good at. This is Tomaltak, your restreamer, and I'm going to give it to our coms.
Thanks, Tomaltak. Much appreciated. Welcome, everybody. Grand finals for the Upstarts tournament. Angel FM, Sigil, 711. 2 runners, 1 victor. Elendar, are we ready?
Oh, I'm extremely ready. I'm very excited for this finals. If you had to guess at the beginning who was going to make the finals, these are 2 names that would probably be at the top of your list, and it should be some close games here.
Oh, absolutely. And while we are waiting for them to get started, why don't we go over the journey these two have had to make it here to the finals?
Yeah, we did 5 weeks of async seeds to set everyone's seeds and make a cut down to top 8 of increasingly more difficult flags. At the end of that, we had Angel here ended up being our number 1 seed and Sigil the number 3. So pretty good performances from both of them all around. Here in the brackets, Sigil took out Talon in the first round, and then the minor upset against Vaughn, though that was a really close one. I enjoyed that. And then Angel took out DK 9146, and then Custom to end up here in the finals.
And fun fact with that match of Angel versus DK, they actually have been friends in DWR for quite a while. So it was a good little friendly rivalry jumping over to another rando, and they both played very, very well in that. But yeah, with that, we are off.
Yep. For everyone who's been following this tournament, we continue to be on the same flags since week 5. It's just pretty close to standard by the end of this. We are starting off with a candle, and we're starting off on some islands, question mark?
Either vanilla-like or islands, and it looks like Angel has found the Heart Container Cave, where Sigil has gone and found Parappa Cave.
Yeah, definitely islands. Okay.
Yep, that confirms it's islands.
Yeah, as mentioned previously, both these runners play a number of different randomizers, and you had pointed out earlier that this is not their first time racing in the tournament against each other, but it is in this game.
It absolutely is for this game. They have actually raced each other in one of the Zelda 1 randomizer tournaments, so both of them are no strangers to the Zelda randomizers in and of themselves. And I know Angel came in during Standard of last year and picked up the game, got really good really fast, and, well, is now here in the finals for Upstarts.
Yeah, every time we do Upstarts, we always have 1 or 2 players who get, like, spooky good very quickly, and Angel definitely among them. Pretty tame start here so far in the seed, though, both are runners. Probably going to check all the same stuff.
I do appreciate Angel trying to get the Gorilla off screen enough to where he didn't have to worry about the boomerangs, but unfortunately, that Gorilla had other plans coming in.
So Sigil decided to go through and get the hints, and immediately gets perhaps the worst possible hint. Just go west to find the magic key.
Oh yeah, at this point, that is absolutely the worst possible hint to obtain.
I have to keep insisting to everyone that the hints are not intentionally awful.
It's just how they roll sometimes.
They're just it seems to me, like, especially recently, they're just always the thing that you already have, even if you have literally only gotten one item.
So Angel having a bit of a rough time over here in the Medicine Cave, and Sigil working on getting over there.
Yeah, Medicine Cave can be on the difficult side early. It sort of forces you to fight a bunch of enemies whether you like it or not, and sometimes you can get some mean combinations. Second screen, not so bad, though.
Now, the second screen has been rather tame, and Sigil now picking up the child off of the grass tile that we saw earlier from Angel.
Alright, I think that's is that a raft?
I believe so.
Not familiar with this custom sprite.
Yeah, gotta be the raft.
Definitely the most common sprite to get replaced in these custom sprites. Number of options available. See a little bit better when Sigil gets to the end of this cave, and here's a maze and our raft tile, so continents ahoy.
No kidding there. Alright, palace check. It's either 2 or 5, and it's 2 this time around, and oh, Sigil. Unfortunately gonna take a game over there. But early game over, not that bad. Could be much, much worse. As Angel is going through the maze trying to see if he can find the item here.
Yeah, pretty easy source of items. Most of the time, this maze looks pretty open. There's not... Sometimes you get mazes that are like really linear and you have to do like 4 or 5 fights and you're like, why am I here? But there's a lot of options. Potentially could experience off this orange with alphas too.
Just 300, you know, nothing too much.
Like a casual best possible value.
Exactly.
And leave her trying to join in on the party. No, go away.
And just like that, attack 3 already picked up as Sigil has come into Raru. I did not catch what spell is here, but we will find out very shortly.
It is Fairy Spell.
That's big.
It is a big pickup, especially because if he goes into this maze, I was going to say he could Fairy Feet through some of these screens, but probably not castable a magic one.
We'll find out here in a second. It's castable by 1 MP.
Okay, hey, that's big. Being able to cast it at all could definitely get you out of a jam. It'll make Medicine Cave a whole lot easier. Just ferry through that first screen and the second screen, no problem.
Yeah, you go through that first screen and the second screen, call it a day, and you're good. Was the red lizard another 300?
I think so, man.
Oh baby!
As much as I was just talking about fairy feeding through this maze, maybe you don't want to. This is 200 for the reds. Okay, still that's a lot of experience available here.
Yeah, because that's already like 1,100 or no, like 1,300 that we've seen so far, which. Yeah. If it were decided upon, would make a great quick little grind to get to attack 5.
Yeah, and there was a double orange encounter real close to the palace too, so if you wanted, you could reset on that and grind that for XP a couple of times.
Yeah, it'd be a quick and easy way just to get up to attack 5 if you wanted to early, and then be good to go from there.
So with the power of Fairy Spell, Sigil makes it through that raft no problem. Gonna keep exploring on the west. The maze not paying off for Angel so far. Just a cross and not a quick find for the second item.
I mean, if the boots are here, that's gonna be a massive payoff here for Angel, but if it's something else, that could spell potential disaster?
Yeah, the biggest payoff for Angel, so, okay, a flute.
That could be a big payoff even still.
Yeah, hard to say until we've seen our East, but I'd say the biggest payoff that I think Angel's gotten is just approximately 1,000 experience.
Yeah, because this is going to be a quick attack 4 obtained here in P2 for Angel. And then from there, levels are just going to keep coming in relatively easily and quickly.
Yeah, if this P2 isn't too long, it shouldn't be too difficult to set up for attack 5 off the boss, too.
Exactly.
Angel's still pretty low on other levels. Doesn't need magic particularly bad. There's a 300 bag in the pool.
300's not bad. Now this room, always tough to get that jump right out the gate, but Angel only has to turn back once and attempt again, which is very, very good.
Sigil immediately taking the left instead of the right and finds the flute instantly.
Alright, P-Bag drop from Aguma yields a 50-point bag. Little unfortunate to see because they're probably worth more, but we won't know until another one goes down. And runs into a left here. So we'll just have to wait and see where this palace goes.
Yeah, Goomas are, like, the regular Goomas are right in that annoying point, like that annoying midpoint where if they roll down, they're really worth nothing. And if they roll up, it's like really valuable. So an enemy that's only worth 2 points vanilla, whether it rolls up or down doesn't really matter a ton. And you know, like a Mago is still pretty okay even if it rolls down. But like those middle enemies really makes a difference whether they roll up or down.
Yeah, because even if the Mago rolls down, oh, it's 20 points. Okay, even if the Mago rolls down, it's really not the end of the world. It's still very, very good EXP, just not the greatest. And we get a check of the raft tile, which immediately goes east, and Angel runs into another glove block. Sigil, finding the forest tile with the P-Bag, gets 200 points out of it, but Angel making a big find here with the item room, and it's just a magic container.
Unfortunate. Doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, Angel has no spells right now, and even if Angel did pick up that fairy spell, not going to do a ton. Sigil not going to do the palace, going to commit to looking around the east.
Oh wait, no, this isn't the glove block. I thought it was.
Yeah, Sigil just looking to find some spells, potentially find a glove. We get a linked fire here. We're gonna see what it is. Sigil not checking the container requirement. Probably gonna do it on the way out, I assume.
Yeah, that's what I would expect, is check the container requirement on the way out and then continue on your merry way. And we may even be able to get a fire check here to see what it is. And we may even see said fire check done on the last screen here.
We'll see if it's castable. Nope.
Just barely not.
So if that does end up being fire spell, it's gonna be irritating. We get our dripper enemy. It's just some rope.
No lamp oil, just rope.
7 containers going to be our requirement today, so basement check looking unlikely.
Bit of a hefty requirement.
Sigil touched a coconut and got absolutely bodied. Barely survives and fairy spells out.
Yeah, you gotta be careful of those coconuts. They'll get you when you least expect it.
They're kind of the bots of the sky. Like, they don't move very fast, but it's very random and often in exactly the direction that would troll you.
And these MOAs, which normally would be invisible, but thank you, Cross, they're doing a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, MOAs can be anywhere from, not an issue to incredibly scary, depending on how many they are and how much lava's on the screen.
We got a Death Valley sighting here. As well as a pass-through cave that might actually go to the other side of the valley.
Yeah. That or it's just gonna be a dead end in the middle of the mountain.
Possible. Alright, Angel has jumped into another palace. Actually making some checks within the palaces. Though we don't know for sure yet if this is 3 or 6. Sigil just getting bullied here. Trying to make it through this Darunia encounter.
Yeah, the double flying rock dropping enemies can be really annoying because if you try to go through the screen quickly, they just keep spawning in front of you. Hey, free thunder.
Alright, things just got a lot easier with that. Angel giving us elevator checks.
So that's all 3 of our... Oh, fire jump is the check from Sigil.
Not the best, but also not the worst right now since jump has yet to be found.
It's a nice safety and, you know, could give, I guess Sigil already has fairy spell, so gonna be able to get up or down stab either way, but...
Oh yeah, and now it's really a hunt for the glove and the boots.
Yeah,
and
also,
then what items do you
reflect? Still haven't found where DM is.
Yeah, that's true. DM could actually be holding on to something here.
Well, we've got the Sigil got the spell hint that DM is holding on to our trophy for reflect.
All right, so that is required. So we know that at least one of the DM locations is required, but the question is, will it be the rock or will it be Hammer Cave?
Unknown. Probably you'd like to avoid going in without the hammer if at all possible, but you always get the trolliest of situations where the hammer is in a Hammer Cave.
And that does happen.
Yeah, it makes you not want to go to DM, and then when you finally go to DM, the thing that you needed was already there, and like, come on.
Just a moment of thanks, game.
Oh, no. Okay. Old Kasuto has reflect. So Sigil's tracker is just wrong. Okay. Apologies.
Alright, so there's reflect. I wonder if it was spell.
Possible. Well, that rules out a lot of the likely situations for the Death Mountain being useful. Could still have our glove, right? We could still hope for the trolliest situation possible.
Oh yeah, it's still very, very possible. Then yeah,
Okay.
spell is absolutely in Ruto.
Okay, so we're hoping.
And there's a glove.
Glove. Boo. I was gonna say we could be hoping for spell behind the trophy and DM into our glove, but all hopes for a trolley glove position have been dashed.
Aside from a potential need of the boots, Sigil's pretty much in go mode.
Yeah, boots probably required, just looking at the shape of what they had seen on those islands. But
Now I do appreciate Angel actually going through the palaces and scouting them out a bit, just to narrow down locations where he'll need to go. But at the same time, with Angel actually having, or not Angel, with Sigil having all of this, item-wise, it is going to make a lot of the palaces much, much easier and potentially be one-and-dones.
Yeah. I'm sure both runners would really appreciate having downstab before going back into palaces anymore, but unless we find some boots pretty soon, that's not going to be an option.
So now the question actually boils down to, where are the boots going to be? Because we haven't seen a hint for them yet.
I'm gonna say P6. It's achievable,
P6?
but a little bit painful.
P6 would be interesting for them to be in, that's for sure. Alright, Sigil picking up life from Darunia. So now it's the question of, where does Sigil want to go?
I appreciate Angel did the Angel with the extra container was able to cast fire here, did their fire check at the spell tower screen just to make sure on spell.
Well, there's Raph, or not Raph, there's a bridge to DM.
Yep, and an immediate rock, but no hammer is going to mean that rock's going to remain unsmashed.
What's a hammer? all we know is sword.
Right? Just hit the rock with your sword really hard.
Ooh.
What is this? What is this east? Is this actually mountainous?
It is actually... It is a weird mountainous, but one of these most likely will be an item cave. And the only item cave remaining now is Risen. There's P1 for Sigil. Sigil going to take the up A, refill on lives? No! It's the connector to DM, and that looks like it may be at the top of DM, so Sigil could have an easy hammer cave check.
Yeah, but we'll probably just gonna do this palace first, I assume. Is where Sigil's going. It's P1, you might as well. River Devil, man, he's trying his best. It's okay. We've got some new technology for River Devil coming up.
Larry's just out there living his best life.
Yeah.
All right.
So Angel gonna check out this mysterious pass-through cave.
I like Sigil's plan here.
Yeah, I mean, you got basically all the things. Might as well just start blasting all the palaces on the way. It's been
So we know that there's 1 and a 3/6 here, but we don't know what the rest of it is.
Yeah, we have not been into the valley at all. Curious if the best way into the valley is an up A at this point for Sigil?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be to venture back through because... Well, I might be actually. I forget that connector for the east is actually really close to the start of the maze anyway.
Yeah, does have some time just on the raft animation and doing some walking, so it's probably pretty close.
Alright, Sigil getting attack 3 before taking the up and A here. And Angel taking a game over at this point.
Could maybe mean they're gonna go find the fairy spell, do some more looking around the west.
That's a possibility. I mean, Angel's levels are looking pretty good right now at 435, where Sigil is sitting at 324.
Okay, yeah. So here's a fairy pickup. Meanwhile, P1 proving annoyingly uncooperative for Sigil. A big long dead end that had nothing, so Sigil going back to this fork.
Yeah, which was directly left off of start. And Sigil going to go ahead and take the magic level here.
Thunder was castable at Magic 2. Sigil used it to take out a blue Iron Knuckle, but not, I think it was 100, not a great return.
It was enough for the level, and that is a very, very good heads-up play to make, especially here in a finals race when you're going against somebody who has been dominating throughout the bracket so far.
Yeah, you gotta make up time where you can, and I think Sigil probably looking better as far as position at this point. Angel has sort of a knowledge advantage of some of these palaces in the back of his head, but you gotta actually remember those things.
Well, and the lack of glove, if Angel has not picked it up, which I don't think that he has, is a bit of an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, could be an issue. We haven't seen a lot of glove blocks so far, but they can always be here. Meanwhile, the horse goes down, and Sigil going to be the first one on the board.
There was a horse, I didn't see it. Oh no! So Angel, unfortunately, in that situation where taking too many hits from the bubbles, has drained too much magic, making Fairy uncastable.
Angel can cast Fire here and pick up that red jar, but doesn't realize it. I mean, Angel did the fire check. He knows it's jump. But okay. Well, I guess Fire might not have been castable at Magic 3. So I don't know exactly how much it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I know it was decently expensive at Magic 2, but have not seen a check at Magic 3.
I haven't been able to catch numbers yet on either of them just to see where it's at.
Yeah, I know Thunder is castable. Fairy is a little on the... Oh, come on!
And
wow!
There's that.
That was the rudest block generator I've seen in quite some time.
Classic block generator. Fire is still 68 at Magic 3.
Okay, so was not castable. I appreciate that it didn't just immediately generate a huge wall. It put up like a 3-block wall. So you think, okay, maybe I could back up, let it drop some more blocks, get a little bit of a ladder up, and then as soon as you try to do that, it drops 3 more blocks. Like, okay, no.
Literally a moment of thanks, game.
It's like when you're hitting statues for jars, you hit the same thing 7 times in a row.
Wouldn't know anything about that in some GPs.
It's the worst when you have to cast jump every time you want to stab it, and you're just looking for a jar and you just don't get one, and you run out of magic. And you're like, okay, cool, thanks. Glad I spent time on this.
Pretty much. Alright, Sigil. Just cruising along right now. Angel also cruising along. We're just waiting to see who finds a boss first.
Sigil finding a glove block. Able to make it through no problem, but that's potentially bad news for Angel.
Well, so Angel's already hit this glove block in 2. That tells me for sure that Sigil's in 2. And I'm fairly certain that Angel is here in 5.
Yeah. I don't know for Angel whether he determined that there was no other way, or just decided it wasn't worth continuing on the odds.
Well, I know he did take a game over, so it sent him back to start. And here is that gorgeous helmet head. One bar life spell is always fun, but Sigil makes it through no problem.
I'm okay with 1 bar life for the finals.
Really tests their mettle.
You gotta add some difficulty somewhere. Makes GP a little bit more exciting when you don't have anything for free.
Oh yeah.
Actually not get hit. Have some careful combat. Sigil turning around, wants the item, understandably.
Unfortunately, it's just going to be another magic jar, but fortunately, that's going to be the 7th. And that could give Sigil access, or not even could, it will give Sigil access to the basement, which could be the boots. There we go.
Yeah, and that creates an interesting decision. If you're gonna go back into New Kasuto, do you want to try going into DM first to try and get spell and just not have to double dip New Kasuto? Or do you say, forget it, I'll just get the easy access item and pretend that the spell's not going to be needed?
I mean, it's final. Some gambles are going to be made, and I think that is one of those gambles that absolutely will be made, where Sigil will jump into NK, get the basement item, and then call it good.
At this point, there aren't a ton of locations left that could be holding our boots. The most likely situation is still one of these palaces.
Angel taking it very, very meticulously here, just to be able to survive.
Making it through without dying, and now
is rewarded with Guma.
Yeah. Attack 4, not the worst, but looks
just
like
trying to get some hits here, working on staying alive.
Yeah,
that's the name of the game.
Guma rolled about vanilla health, which is pretty good when you're trying to win on attack 4.
So that's a fantastic question, Obo, and my answer to that is I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Angel has at least 1 life in reserve.
Oh!
And 1 life it is.
Alright, last life. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a very, very valiant effort there from Angel, but always a bit of a yikes moment when you end up taking a death, especially so late into a Guma fight. And he's hitting for 2.5 bars at life 5. That's going to be a game over for Angel here in P5. And the boots are in Grandma's basement. That is huge for Sigil.
Man, everything is just coming up Sigil in terms of finding what he needs immediately, and that's go mode. Just need to find some palaces and blast through them, and with these boots, not going to be a problem to find the remaining palaces.
But first, a quick stop over to Mito to pick up Downstab.
Yeah, everyone loves Downstab. Even the people who erroneously like to say that Upstab is the superior stab recognize the power of Downstab.
I mean, last I checked, Downstab's pretty good.
Yeah, so the good news is that Angel did get one of these palace magic containers, so the hunt for 7 containers not going to be so terrible.
It does make it a bit easier on that hunt, but at this point, with Sigil's advantage and now being up 2 palaces to none.
Yeah,
Angel's got a battle.
It's gonna take some game overs from Sigil or some trickiness or nastiness in GP for Angel to come back on this one, which, you know, it can happen. GP can definitely equalize any number of races, but we'll have to see how awful it is in a bit.
I mean, as it is with any final dungeon within a game or final area, GP is, in fact, the great equalizer, and Sigil, unable to cast Reflect here, is going to end up taking a death. But we'll be able to cast Reflect and block the axes, or the other option, just cast Thunder.
Just cast the win button. It's appropriately costed. Heart Container's a pretty good pickup, worth the visit.
Yeah, I'm all for grabbing this Heart Container. Especially if you're not comfortable running at 4 HCs. It gives that nice little bit of buffer.
Yeah, there's relatively few items remaining, and there was still 4 Heart Containers in the pool, so a pretty decent chance any of these caves could have another container.
And we have GP here on the west, so that is GP located.
Yeah, being on the west is about the best possible case for it, because wherever you are, you can just up A and you're not too far from GP.
Absolutely, and Sigil, looking for the other palace, runs into Saria, which we now know will have the jump spell, but just needs to find this remaining palace here, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, kind of surprised we haven't seen it already at this point. I wonder if it's in the middle of this big old storm.
That's what I'm starting to think.
Sigil understandably not wanting to walk into it, but at a certain point...
You're going to hit a point that you do want to walk into it.
No, never mind. It's just right here.
Now, these 150-point oranges have been nothing but great.
Angel game overing again on the way to Guma, decides, forget it, gonna go look somewhere else.
As Sigil comes in, a little bit lower on resources, but will end up taking a level on the way. That's gonna at least give the magic refill.
Yeah, most importantly, Sigil also has downstab, which should make the combat on the way to Guma substantially easier. Just need to cast Fairy in the early Fairy or Glove Room and have a much easier time at the least of getting to Guma. Maybe not necessarily on Guma himself.
Oh, absolutely, and also with the upstab makes this bubble room a lot more trivial than what it would normally be, but is unable to outrace the bubble.
Yeah, the fast bubbles you can't outrun in the elevator. It's a bit too speedy. And to don't ferrying anyway. Understandably, room is quite a bit faster with ferry, even if you do have the glove.
So I do like what Angel is doing here. Actually gonna go through Jump Cave.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where this leads. I think it's a good idea not knowing, but the only all that we've seen of the rest of the West is from Sigil's perspective with the boots.
So I believe this will actually put Angel by Mito.
Okay, if that gets Angel downstab, that's gonna help out quite a bit.
And yes, it does. Unfortunately, it has to deal with the double bridge encounter, but shouldn't be that bad to do. Sigil's sitting on low life going through this 5 right now.
Yep, still has 2 lives in reserve, but gonna have to actually find the way to Guma.
Which should not take him that long to do now.
Gonna have to do it with 1 fewer life, though. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
he picked up an extra life and is still sitting pretty right now.
It's a nice time to find an extra life. And the only additional safety Sigil's gonna have versus Angel on Guma, Sigil has an extra bar of life. I'm not sure that's gonna matter in terms of number of hits to kill, but Sigil's sort of got 2 or 3 extra bars of life hiding out in all of that magic with the crappy life spell.
Yeah, I think it's 2 extra bars because I think it still costs 55 even at Magic 4. But
Yeah.
even with that taken into account and Guma doing 2.5 bars at life 5, which, don't get me wrong, that's quite a bit. It's kind of a rough go.
Yeah, certainly not going to be easy. Maybe he can take 1 extra hit over what Angel could, everything put together.
Alright, Sigil gonna continue holding right here.
Okay, this is the way to Guma. This is the unfortunate bridge. There's a couple of Iron Knuckles, but Downstab going to make this one a lot, well, or just Thunder.
Thunder also going to make it a lot easier. But I have a feeling we're going to see Sigil take a death here before too long. Trying to lure this blue IK down, which I like.
Yeah, it can be tricky to get over the blue IK, but Sigil has Downstab, which eliminates any trickery.
Through the key door and onto Guma, looking to place the 3rd gem before Angel has even placed 1.
Yeah,
And it's
Sigil,
just that difference of prioritizing overworld versus prioritizing dungeons in this case.
it definitely paid off for Sigil here, though Sigil does actually have to beat Guma. It's not a given.
Well, fortunately, with that life spell, it's going to make it a lot easier to do. And on top of that, I know Sigil plays the safer strat against Guma more often than not. Just getting that poke in.
The most important thing on Guma is not dying. If it takes you 30 seconds or a minute longer because you're doing safe strats, at even 1 death pretty much blows all that away anyway. So whatever you have to do to not die on Guma, that's the fast strat.
Exactly. Alright, Angel about to pick up Thunder. Sigil taking it slow and steady, making some really spooky jumps.
Yeah, the one tricky thing about this really careful... Every time you hit Guma, it backs him up. And so if you're doing this sort of slow, 1 hit at a time, 1 hit back up, 1 hit back up, Guma can start to crowd you in the corner. And so sometimes you gotta get a little bit aggressive for a bit just to say to Guma, hey, back off. I need a little bit of space here. Yeah, and now you see with Sigil doing, do a hit, jump over the mace, do a couple more hits, that sort of more aggressive move can back Guma off, and then you can go back to doing safe strats a little more. This is great technique for Sigil here.
Yeah, Sigil's playing this very, very well right now. Just had to get into the groove after those first 2 deaths. But should have Guma down here in a moment.
Okay.
Gets it.
Was worried about the commentator curse there for a second, but does manage to clean it up.
Don't worry, I was worried about it as well.
Angel gonna pick up Reflect here, and should have. I think the last container was just the Sigil had was just in P1, right? So Angel should have that pretty quickly.
Yeah, but Angel's got to get the glove as well. The glove is still eluding Angel, if you will. And here it is, going to be coming up very quickly. Now, I do like that Sigil is heading back to the east at this point just to clean up the other two palaces that remain here. Sitting at 455, so levels really aren't that bad. Will at least have attack 5 by the end of this. So that is going to be a plus. As Angel picks up the glove, there's going to be a lot of time that needs to be made up here by Angel in order to catch Sigil.
Yeah, Sigil could have potentially tried to keep the XP rolling, because he was pretty close to being able to get attack 5, but, you know, having lost some lives in Doom, I understand not wanting to take the risk of losing all that experience.
Oh, absolutely. It was a little bit of a scary situation, that's for sure. But look at that cost of Fairy dropping significantly at Magic 5.
Yeah, that's the power of Magic 5, is that big drop is you usually count on it, unless the randomizer wants to be really cool to you. Fire and Fairy and Fire both tend to drop quite a bit.
And even Life dropped a decent amount. We're going to have a check of this room from Sigil, as Angel was not able to make it through here due to lack of Fairy or glove. Is this going to be the pathway that leads to the boss?
I've never seen before, and I'm not sure how intentional it was. Sigil shot a sword beam, which stunned both of the heads, and then turned into a fairy, and had enough time to get through the iframes on both heads with the fairy, saving a very small amount of health.
Whether it was intentional or not, it was beautifully done, and Sigil now taking on the Barba. Glove Fairy locked Barba. So this is going to be 4 down for Sigil, as Angel is working on his first.
People asking for the Barba Pogo, but I understand not wanting to, unless you have practiced the Barba Pogo, right? Quite a bit. It is a technique that's very likely to put you in the lava.
Yeah, I will wholly admit, as an upstart, I cannot blame, or as a former upstart, shall I say, I cannot blame any of the upstarts for not going after the Barba Jackhammer. It is a very, very rough strat to do.
I have been playing this randomizer enough that you could, probably, I'm not really one of the old timers, but you could say an experienced player. And I've just never done the jackhammer. It is not an easy technique, and it's a little bit better if you have enough attack that you can consistently kill him and learn jackhammer. It's a lot better than if you have like a low attack with this and attack 4. It still saves a bunch of time, but it becomes scary in the sense that you have to not only do the jackhammer but correct your movement back onto the platform so you don't take a dip in the lava.
Yeah, that's what makes it even more difficult. But with that, P6 done for Sigil. Just palaces 3 and 4 remaining. Needs to go check the palace in DV. just to find out what it is, but has 555 right now. So levels are looking good.
Yeah, they should put Sigil around like a 566 for GP, which should be plenty with this amount of bars.
I love that question. Since when did the Jackhammer become Jackhammer? I mean, it was always known originally as the Jackhammer, but, you know, with Yumps and stuff in Super Mario World and then Jackhammer coming around, it just depends upon what you want to call it. Lava Bath for Sigil, just to restore MP, or the Magic Restoration Bath, as I know you like to call it.
Oh yeah, it's so convenient. Can you imagine if there was no lava there, and if you ran out of MP, you had to like actually go through those screens?
I wouldn't want to, as I'm being attacked by a cat. I'm sorry about that. Yes, Hammer Yampa, I did forget about that. Thank you, Obo. And yes, that is enough magic for Angel to get the boots.
And probably going to be a thing that happens fairly shortly after beating P1, because Angel's explored almost everything else available to him.
So with that, Angel has the first gem on the board. And Sigil playing it very smart here, ferrying over the blue Lizalfos, avoiding the maces, and this is P3, so that means P4 is hidden somewhere over on the west. But that's fine, since the west is also where GP is.
Yeah, as long as you... The main concern is you don't want to have to walk out of the valley. It takes a bunch of time. This will be a good position for Sigil to just complete this palace, up A back to start, find whatever the last palace is, probably up A again, and then go to GP.
As it stands, Sigil has a very significant lead over Angel, but GP can say otherwise about that lead and drop it to literally nothing.
Yeah, this is not so much of a lead that, like, I have lost races in tournaments with this much of a lead before. It is 100% possible. So can never rest on your laurels. Gotta try and keep your foot on the gas, even when you are ahead or think you're ahead, or are feeling like you're in a good position.
Because you really never know what's going to happen until it happens.
Yeah, I mean, GP can be brutal. In a previous tournament, we have seen GPs that took runners an hour plus. Not terribly likely in this flag set with these players, but 15 minutes difference could absolutely happen.
And if you happen to watch the match, you'll know exactly what GP is being mentioned by Elendar here.
Oh, just mean. I enjoy hoping for trolley stuff just to sort of add some more spice to the races, but I couldn't wish that GP on anyone.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Sigil about to take down everybody's favorite horse. It's Rebanak.
Yep, real straightforward P3, pretty much just hold rights. Doesn't quite get the corner set up for Revo, but has enough levels that no problem doing it the fair way.
It is very possible to kill Rebanak without downstab, but can be very difficult.
Yeah, it's more difficult and also substantially slower. Not necessarily in the second phase, but the horse phase is there are ways to speed it up. There's practice that you can do to get double hits and stuff in, but it it can be slow just because so much of the time you just gotta wait or you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, and that's where it becomes more difficult than not. Alright, so Sigil just has to find 4 at this point here on the west, and is walking back to GP. Can't quite get in there yet, but that yet will soon be remedied. Yeah, Downstablished Rebanak is extremely niche, and that's if you have, say, you have a mini-boss Rebanak that is blocking your item. The item happens to be the trophy, which leads to the jump spell, and you can't get fire because you need jump in order to be able to get the child to get fire. And fire happens to also be connected to jump.
It's very rarely required, but you will definitely see runners. There are times where it's faster, just because it's it's on the way. The palace is on the way, and you don't want to go dig around. But I will usually avoid it if at all possible. But it always depends, right? If you get a bunch of experience early, if you have some safeties like shield spell, you might consider doing it a little bit more, just because you're less likely to game over.
It's definitely good to have in one's toolkit.
Alright. I definitely did downstab with Rebo a lot more early on when I was playing the randomizer, if only because I would forget that you go to P3 and like, oh yeah, it's a quick palace, and you're like, oh wait, Rebo's here, and then you're already on the boss, you don't ever downstab, and it's like, wow.
Well, I kind of screwed myself here.
Ooh, rough glove drop from Angel.
Yeah, got sandwiched just a bit there.
Attack 4 feeling like a traditional attack 4 in that it's not great, and you really wish you would attack 5.
Yeah, and attack 5 actually has been pretty good so far. At least from what we've seen from Sigil here. Angel just barely missing the jump. Trying to get it here. And does manage to get that 3-tile jump, as Sigil has made it to Karok, who will be the harder Karok variant. So you're going to have all sorts of high and low beams, as well as wavy beams, all the good beams, even beams to go on your beams.
Definitely more of a fun experience than holding down in the corner and praying he doesn't teleport it to you.
Which is also something you don't have to worry about with harder Karok.
So you're getting hit a couple times, but a timely use of the lay spell, buying some insurance.
Tone Talk, you caught exactly where I was going with that. Thank you.
They're actually neither sine nor cosine. The NES is way too simple for that. They're actually parabolas that invert themselves. Like they're parabolas that periodically invert. Because you could do that entirely with squares and doesn't require a trig lookup table.
Yeah.
When J-Ro was working on it, I was assisting where I could. We took some discovery to learn exactly how everything works and should work.
So we'll say 57-17 for the curtain going up on Sigil's side into GP. And here we go. The Great Equalizer is ready to do its thing.
And it starts with its best tool for equalizing, birds.
Not just birds, but Emoji Room as well.
Yeah. as is traditional, these birds are jerks. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
double
here-
blue bird and an emoji.
This is gonna be a rough time for Sigil, but both of them jumped out. So
Okay,
this is
that's what you want. You're gonna try and get both of them on the far side and just send it. Could be better.
Could be worse,
Situation's
could
getting
be
out of
better.
control. Thunder does
Gonna
not kill
thunder.
blue birds. Yep, nope. Gonna reset.
Whew. So emoji room, when you have two birds like that, is extremely unfriendly.
Yeah, Sigil sort of got the best strategy you can do is, sort of work both of the birds out, try to get both of them behind you, and then just gut it. That's at least my favorite strategy. And it sort of worked at the beginning, but because we're gonna have to give it another try and see. Yeah, no shield spell. Shield spell locked behind the medicine. Did not find that, so gonna have to go without.
That pun is absolutely accurate for here, but this is a great situation for Sigil to be in. Makes it up and is going to be able to get over the emoji as a bird jumps into it and is past the first emoji room.
Now, the first huge obstacle of his GP has been surmounted, and gonna go up instead of right. And here's
Into
a
a
four-way.
four-way. Just go right at the four-way. Make the meme play.
This is already a mess. This is the sort of thing that Angel needs to potentially catch up. It's just a million forks that you can hope to take the right way on. And just do a gamble, take a left somewhere, take a path that the other runner didn't take, and get ahead. 'Cause
Suddenly-
we've got like 3 lefts and 2 rights or something like that already outstanding.
Yeah, something like that. It's very interesting to say the least.
Meanwhile, more birds.
But a 4-high ledge, if you will, is exactly what Sigil wanted to do there, just to be able to make it through and get past. But the bubble deciding to join him in the waffle, but does not end up being a massive detriment. This blue bird knight, though, is going to take the first life off of Sigil here in this GP exploration.
Yeah, deadliest enemy so far.
I mean, considering the amount of damage they do, rightfully so, being the deadliest enemy.
Okay, that was the first loop. Sigil could have tried to walk back. It would have been a bit slow. This up A is theoretically faster, but it does mean Sigil going to have to go through the bird emoji room again.
Now I'm just sad we don't have a room in the new version that's just a bunch of blocks arranged in the shape of a giant bird.
Yeah, we do have some new waffle rooms to be terrible and full of birds again.
That we do. Oh, Sigil. Okay.
It wouldn't be a new version of the randomizer without more waffle rooms. Waffle rooms are part of the core identity of GP.
That too is very true. Alright, Sigil just gonna hold right here with all of these forks.
Yeah, I mean, could be worse.
I mean, I like it.
More birds.
This GP is just for the birds.
You know, I think Angel is on the right route to the boss here. So gonna be catching up a little bit with some efficient routing here.
And here's Thunderbird for Sigil, down to
Just
1
hold
bar
right.
of life. Now, the only thing that is an unknown is how far away will Darklink be from here. gets a little off on the pendulum, jumps into a fireball, and that's going to be the first life down. Still has 2 lives remaining.
Curious if Sigil has enough magic for a reflect here? Probably?
Oh, yeah.
Just barely. Okay. That's going to help a lot.
It's 111 for Thunder plus Reflect, but not having Shield here, yes, it does suck, but Reflect does shrink Sigil's hitbox, so that does make this fight a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Going
you sort of
slow and steady.
You expect that Reflect is going to let you reflect some fireballs, and it does. So that's a bit of, effective shrinking of your hitbox, but it does also just, for some reason, decrease the size of your hitbox. And so you are about 50% smaller between both effects of Reflect. I approve of Sigil playing this safe. Gets a little bit off the pattern, does a reset on the right side, gets a little bit off, does another reset. Better safe than getting hit.
Absolutely, just taking it safe, definitely the way to go. What he doesn't know is that he has a significant lead. Not getting tilted by taking hits is very good. Dodges a few corner fireballs, those are always the deadly part of T-Bird, but has the reverse pendulum going right now. Needs to get this fixed.
Yep, got a nice position to the corner. Once again, just resetting where it's safe. And
one more hit should do it. Oh no!
Sigil had
There's the commentator curse!
Sigil had a really good fireball pattern on the left, got through no problem, and just missed the stab going back right. Oh no! Talk about ways for Angel to potentially come back. Dying to Thunderbird repeatedly is on the table.
It absolutely is, but I can tell Sigil was taking a deep breath, done a mental reset, and has come back into this fight ready to finish it.
Super clean so far. Gets into phase 2.
The Berserk Thunderbird phase, if you will. Waits for a good clean path. Gets it. Looking good so far.
A little bit off here. Gonna have to redirect back early. Nice.
Unfortunately, does get hit by a corner fireball. There really wasn't anything that could be done there. Gets the turnaround and blocks that fireball beautifully. 2 hits to go. Gets it!
Nice. That was actually, I'm not sure if that was intentional. Sigil got a little bit off pattern, potentially just knowing because one stab was going to be enough and just wanting to have a clean position for that last stab. No problem. Gonna be probably taking a game over soon, but Thunderbird will remain dead. That's what's important.
And that is the biggest plus in this scenario. The only question now is where is Darklink residing? Here's a dead end for Sigil, so it's going to be up the elevator and off to that right.
Yeah, Sigil understandably didn't want to contend with this, whatever enemies are in this upstab required room, but...
Well, that is a fire shooting rope.
Very rude in that position.
And another rope in a very rude position. Has a sliver of health remaining. Does hit another junction here. Gonna go up the elevator, and here's Dark Link. Sigil looking in dire straits on life, but still has a very significant lead.
Yeah, this is not easy, sure, not free. One hit will send Sigil back to the beginning of this palace. Gonna have to be careful.
Three hits remain. And as long as Darklink keeps doing this jump, once he walks up, he can get the stab in, get the kill, and get your GGs out for Sigil, taking game 1. And is now up in this series.
Yeah, this is a best of 5 series, so far from over, but feels good to be the first one up on the win column.
I mean, the major difference between these two runners is that Sigil prioritized overworld over dungeons, where Angel prioritized dungeons over the overworld. So it just left Angel in a bad spot, going through having to re-clear the dungeons after getting glove.
Yeah,
clearing all he could without glove.
It could have been. Sometimes you get situations where, even if the items you want aren't in the palaces, you at least you get some progress clearing palaces. Just unfortunately, the palaces, for either glove reasons or combat reasons, weren't clearable, and so Angel just didn't get really anything out of all that extra time spent. It just put him too far behind.
Left in an unfortunate scenario, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And we are joined by Sigil. GG's and well played, and very, very nice mental reset on T-Bird.
Thank you. I was so mad on that death of T-Bird.
I could tell you were, and then when you went in after just taking that quick little mental reset and got through with that one hit taken, it was pretty much do or die for you at that point.
Yeah.
We were slightly afraid that we commentary cursed you at the end of that T-Bird. Sort of tried to keep it clean for the last one. You made it through. Although nicely done finishing up that GP on effectively no health.
Yeah. I was just hoping Darklink was not that far after, and I don't take 2 hits.
Yeah, because you only had 1 hit available. You would have needed a jar drop if you wanted to at least get some of your life back. And there actually was real potential that wouldn't have been in the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big story of this race ended up being that Angel prioritized doing palaces early, and you spent a lot of time clearing out the overworld. And not only were all of the important items sort of just hanging out in the overworld free, unfortunately a number of the palaces were either glove locked, or especially like P5 had some nasty combat without downstab, and Angel just had a really tough time with this one, and you did a pretty clean execution of everything.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could find the glove before I dug palaces.
Yeah, that ended up being the winning play for sure this time.
On top of that, you ended up getting to 7 magic containers well before Angel did. Angel was, I believe, still at 5 when you got your 7th, as Angel just picks up the boots after defeating Barba. So you actually had a very, very significant lead. Even if you had taken the game over to Darklink, you had a lot of wiggle room still available.
It did not feel that way.
I can imagine.
When I saw the semi-quick Barba, I was like, well, I'm not getting shield today.
Yeah, that lack of shield, it definitely came into play on those first few T-Bird attempts, but that one that you got to kill, magnificent. And I will wholly admit, I commentator cursed that one that you had one hit remaining. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was so close. You had a good pattern there, and then just a little too low for the last stab, and
Yeah.
it was rough. And you know, we knew that, you know, at that point you were so far ahead it probably didn't matter, but I'm sure you appreciated not having to go through that first emoji room with the birds again.
Yes. That's where I want the shield.
Yeah, we had, between the two of you, still no sign of medicine at all. Probably hanging out in DM or something.
No,
it's in P6.
It's in P6.
Oh, it was in P6? Okay. I didn't
checked.
see the hint,
I checked the hint.
but- Okay. So.
Yeah, I caught you checking the hint, but I didn't even think to say anything about it.
I like checking the hint just to cross off if I have to search a powerless or not.
Which definitely worked out in your favor here. And with as quickly as you found Barba, not even having to deal with the medicine where it kind of sucks, yeah. All in all, it just made your powerless exploration go that much more smoothly.
It's like, I just wish I found a hammer so I could have possibly got more hard containers.
Now that'd have been nice.
Yes.
Alright, Angel realizing he's hit a loop and heading down to, I believe this is the path to Karok. Yeah.
And here he is, yeah. Yeah, and Angel shouldn't have too hard of a time going back into P5. Knows the route. Some nice blocks. A couple of these were not easy to time, just based on where Angel's standing.
So, Sigil, you are up one game. How does it feel, especially being here in the finals, having Angel as your opponent, who's been pretty dominant throughout the entire tournament?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, here in the brackets, you have given Angel his first loss.
I believe so. I feel very fortunate, especially against someone like Angel. Because most of the time he has my number.
That's true. I know you two have faced off in multiple randos in the past. Or at least had the opportunity of facing off in multiple randos in the past. DWR, Z1R.
No, I don't do DWR.
Oh wait, that's right. But I know Z1R, you two have faced off because you two were talking about it before the race had started. And it was the Torneo Corteo that you two had a race in.
Yeah. He got me in that one.
It's one of those things where once you start facing people in multiple randos, you just start seeing them everywhere. It's an inevitability if you play multiple randos, you'll end up facing, Cobra or something like that in every rando.
Yeah, I was about to say Cobra is one that you'll face in many different randos.
I'm just waiting until I have to face him here.
Oh, the time will come. Don't worry about it.
I'm just waiting.
And he's a fun opponent in this, too.
Yes. He'll get to kick my butt.
Yes, and speaking of runners who have my number.
I mean, one of them that has your number might be in this call.
Hey, I took one of them. It is better than most people that are going to say, I did take one game on you.
That's true. But you also know I couldn't resist.
Oh yeah, no. It's okay. We'll have some fun come standard tournament coming up.
Oh, you'll absolutely get me back in standard.
I
But
just
man,
want to thank
Sigil.
you. Yeah, I just want to, before I forget, thank you guys for the restream.
You're very welcome, and thank you for running this seed. That start of GP was rude, with a capital rude.
Yeah.
But you played that like a champ.
Yeah, that's
That
one
was.
of the things.
Oh, go ahead.
That's one thing I'm trying to work on is be patient.
And you did that beautifully in that emoji room.
Thank you.
Alright, Angel back here at Guma at 667. Should have a much easier time versus earlier. Should be 1 or 2 hits remaining. Oh no!
Oh, come on. This Guma has been the deadliest enemy this seed, beating out even the birds.
Yeah, Guma's got a much higher kill count than the birds.
I think I was down to my last hit on Guma also.
Yeah, you were. I was holding my breath and not saying anything while you were getting that last hit. Because I was like, don't commentator curse here. And then I commentator curse you on Thunderbird, and I'm just like, why did I open my mouth?
At least you did curse me on Dark Lake.
No kidding there. I would have felt horrible if I had done that.
I was praying so hard that Dark Lake wouldn't jump on me.
You got some really good luck on that Dark Link fight with him just continuously jumping back instead of jumping at you.
Yeah.
Because if he had jumped at you, that would have been it, unless you kind of know the timing to dodge the damage.
Not really.
That's fair. Alright. Angel now into Bird Palace. We'll have a lot of birds to deal with here, but can make it through. Just going to be taking a lot of damage. And makes it through. Now the question is, will he decide to hold right or go all the way up and go on a trip?
Yeah, hold right is going to be great. Anything other than hold right is going to be problematic. There are a lot of opportunities to waste a bunch of time up this elevator.
And he's going to take the top right, see it's a fairy block, and say, nope. Right at the four-way. Right at the four-way.
Right at the four-way we have not seen before. This is
and
that's also a
loops
loop.
to the
Okay. Good news. All of this elevator is garbage. it's just two different ways.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that. There was a lot of opportunity for time to be wasted there, and it's just not gonna happen.
We need GPs like this in more races.
Sorry.
I've been playing a bunch of GPs with the new palette styles, and you just can't get those kind of those ridiculous loop elevators anymore, and it really changes the way you think about everything.
No GP shenanigans. What were you gonna say, Sigil?
It was nice not seeing every room in GP for once.
Yeah, you've had a rough go of GP for most of this tournament because you full cleared pretty much every GP in every race that you've been in.
Yes.
This one was a very convenient for the most part. Just hold right. That one little twist at the end where you got to go up the elevator, but again, even if you hold right, you get the game over basically immediately, or the dead end basically immediately. Alright, Angel making it look easy, basically a textbook Thunderbird.
Yeah, pretty good centering on that T-Bird. Looking good right now, and just needs to continue holding right. Gonna go up the elevator and then say nope, continue down and come back down the elevator. There's the dead end. So if I remember correctly, it's the next elevator up that goes to Dark Link. Or is it just hold right? I don't entirely remember for sure.
I believe it's the next elevator up.
Okay.
Because I didn't hold right because of my health.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the rest of GP has to be somewhere. It's gotta be right there, but we're not gonna see it.
Alright, Angel has made it to Dark Link. Getting the rather jumpy Dark Link at that. Does take a hit. And just like that, Angel has finished as well.
And get your GGs in chat as well for Angel.
What a race from you two.
Yeah, it had an unfortunate bit in the beginning that sort of made it not particularly close, but some good execution from both runners. Getting through everything. I mean, Angel definitely put to gas once he figured everything out, but just didn't turn out well in the beginning.
Yeah, just that difference between prioritizing overworld versus prioritizing dungeons. That's really all it boiled down to in this one. It was definitely quite the race, though, between you two.
Yeah, it should be a great series the rest of the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do we know when the next race is going to be yet, or no?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I look forward to watching it.
Yes. We're hoping to schedule when there's no SGL Live on for Z2R.
You know, that's absolutely fair. But you both played a really, really good race. Just the unfortunate routing differences that bit Angel ended up being the major difference. as we are joined by Angel FM. GG's Angel.
That was just G. There's no G that one.
That's fair. I mean,
I'll give you 1G.
The routing difference between you two is really what did it, because Sigil prioritized the overworld first, whereas you were jumping into palaces, and since that glove was in sunken, that ultimately is what spelled disaster for you.
Oh yeah, I figured that out right away when especially going through 2 palaces, not being able to complete them because of either glove, and then also too I skipped Fairy and Raru, so I couldn't finish 6 at that point. And then dying right before I could get to where sunken is. It just everything just it's just one of those days that nothing goes right for you.
Yeah, and you and I both know very well that is something that absolutely can happen.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's just it's just one of those things. Also too, I felt like my combat wasn't on point. Like dying the Guma with like whatever, he had 1 HP left or whatever the first time, and then dying before I get back to him a second time. Ugh.
Yeah, you did seem a little off today in the combat department, but at least it's a best of 5 series and not a best of 3 where you would feel like you have your back against the wall.
Oh, I mean, I could just forfeit the other 2 and then we wouldn't have to worry about that, but
But I don't see you doing that. You would catch me by surprise if you did.
Well, see, then I could just, re-enter the Upstarts again, right, Kappa?
No, you can't.
Because you made it to brackets, you can't. But even still, that's hilarious, dude.
I'll forfeit the same 2 you forfeit that, Angel.
Alright, what is it going to be? First to 99? Alright.
Yes.
That Reactor best of 11 win. We're not doing that again.
No.
At least not for these flags.
It was a lot.
But no, I mean, overall, it looks like Sigil played very well, so, it's not surprising to see him finish with the time he did.
Yeah, it was really just the overworld routing differences, because when you would have picked up the glove, I think Sigil would have had 2 palaces done at that point, so you still could have absolutely brought it back. It just would have been whether or not you actually did.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, again, it's just one game. It's it's gonna be what's gonna be. So just gotta play better come game 2.
Yes.
Exactly.
What, do you want to do game 2 Wednesday? I think they don't have nothing.
Yeah, game 2 Wednesday would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, same time.
Yep, same time. As long as Sonny Rath is not commentating, I think we'll be fine.
I don't know. I commentator cursed Sigil a few times.
Yes.
So
Apparently not enough.
Love you too, Angel.
It's hearts all around. Don't worry.
I know. Especially considering that we faced off a few times in a different rando.
Yeah, but see, that's just me kicking you in the whole time. I mean, this is
That's true.
This is like it's like 60-40 you, but I mean, the other one is
It's like
we're not gonna discuss
90-10 you. Oh. So, Wednesday, same time for Game 2. Definitely one y'all are going to want to keep your eyes out for.
Yeah, I just want to thank you and Elendar for commentating. I don't know if it was Tomalchok tracking or.
Yeah, Tomaltalk was tracking for us.
I appreciate you doing that, and also restreaming it. So, thank you.
No problem.
And Sigil, Elendar, if either of you have any other final thoughts before we throw it back to Tomaltalk to take us home.
Wait, hold on. I thought this was like the Mirai 2 restream where we talk for like 40 minutes after the race.
I need to get to bed. So GG's to both of you. Looking forward to the next hopefully 4 races.
We'll save that for after the final race.
Yeah.
But no, thank you all.
Yes, thank you again for the restream.
No problem. Thank you to everyone who came out to watch. I'm going to send us over to ZSR2 where they're doing Majora's Mask Randomizer. And we'll see you all next time.